Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, June the 5th. This is the Made in Paradise podcast. I'm your host, John Clark, along with my co-hosts, Darren Fingleton and Anthony Ferguson. We're here every day, Monday through Friday. If you're watching, please like and subscribe. We'd love to have you here every day. Today, I want to talk to you guys about something that happened in my life when I was 19. So that was many, many moons ago. I was moving from Jackson, Mississippi to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I had just gotten married. I was 19 years old. And I had a trailer that I could use to move some stuff, but I didn't have enough space. And so I asked my brother to help me move. And the only time that he could help me move was late at night one night. And then we had to move during the night so he could be at work the next morning. And so he came after work and we loaded up in Jackson, Mississippi, and we started driving sometime around 10 or 11 o'clock at night out of Jackson, Mississippi, driving towards Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And when we got into Louisiana, around what's called Hammond, Louisiana, between Hammond and Baton Rouge, as we got to that place, we were in a drizzling rain. And so my brother was ahead of me with his pickup truck and a trailer, and I was behind him with my truck and a trailer. And we were driving 60, 65 miles an hour in a drizzling rain. And my brother was behind an 18-wheeler that was a good distance in front of him, maybe 10, 15 car lengths in front of him. And I was behind my brother when all of a sudden, because I was looking up ahead, the 18-wheeler slammed on its brakes and immediately jerked into the emergency lane. When it did, my brother and I both jerked in right behind it. And we all just barely stopped without hitting one another because of the rain and everything else, right? You're trying to stop. And so what had happened was a car had tried to cross through the median, the middle part of the highway, in order to go the other direction. In other words, a car on a big major highway was trying to make an illegal U-turn. And when they did, they were all drunk in the car. When they did, and they came up out of the other side, they hit a motorcycle that they didn't see. So when we got out of the vehicle, and you can see the car, and there's lights everywhere, right? And all the traffic is stopping. And it's drizzling rain, and there are people walking around that are bloody, and some of them have glass stuck in their face, and they're all very drunk. So they're kind of in shock, and they're not feeling the pain that they're dealing with. Like, can you just imagine, you get these bloody people and they're walking around, and the motorcycle is lodged into the windshield in the front of the car. My brother is a police officer. He had flares in the car. So he goes and he starts running, laying out flares. My roommate at the time, my roommate in Jackson, Mississippi, and my adolescent childhood friend, Todd, was with me. And he and I got out, and my brother's yelling at us saying, "Get those people to sit down on the side of the road. Stop them from walking around." And so we're trying to gather those people, and we get them sat down, and we're in the middle of nowhere. So the response time is probably going to be a long time, and the rain and everything else. And so we realize after we get the people sat down on the side of the road that the motorcycle driver is nowhere around. And so we start looking for him, and I find him about 30 meters, about 100 feet away from the car, lying in the middle of the highway in grass. And I go over to him, and when I get close to him, his right leg at the knee is bent back, and his boot is underneath his right armpit. So it's obvious it looks like his leg has just been ripped. Right. And it's up underneath. And I see him laying there in the back, and I think, okay, he's dead. So I go down to him, and when I get right close to him, I lean over carefully, and it's raining, right? So I'm holding my hand, and I put his visor up on his motorcycle helmet, and he's alive. And he says, I'm worried about my leg. I can't feel my right leg, and I'm not moving because I'm scared. And I said, you're fine. Everything's just fine. And he said, can I hold your hand? I said, yeah, you can hold my hand. So I get his hand, right? And he says, is my leg okay? I said, you're going to be okay. One way or the other, you're going to be okay. Just right now, just relax and be here with me, right? So I'm trying to hold it, and he's obviously in shock. And my brother comes over and says, okay, the ambulance is on the way, but they're coming out of Baton Rouge. And so they were 20, 25 minutes away, maybe 30 minutes away. So I had this conversation with this guy in the middle of this ditch while it was raining. Man, he just starts confessing everything, right? I did this in my life. I shouldn't have done this, and I shouldn't have done this. And I knew, God was talking to me, and I knew I shouldn't have done it. That kind of stuff, right? And so he says, oh, if God lets me live through this, I will clean my life up. Man, he just went on and on and on, man. I'm just like, man, don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. Just stay here with me. And I didn't think he was going to make it. I mean, I couldn't see inside. He had a yellow rain suit, one-piece rain suit on, and I couldn't see inside to see what his leg looked like. Anyway, the paramedics got there, and they got him, and so they took him off to the hospital, and we went on, and I finished my move. And after having finished the move, we kind of forgot about it for a while. And I just gotten married and whatever else, and just life had gone on. But we knew which hospital he went to. So sometime down the road, I'm going to say it's longer than a year, we said, I wonder what happened with that guy. And maybe it was my brother I was talking to or something. And we chased it down. He lived and rehabilitated that leg and was riding motorcycles again in about 3 years after that accident. Because we found out about him and then found out he was in rehab and then followed him a little bit longer. And so when I study near-death experiences and reincarnation and all of these things where the science is getting more and more detailed and explained, it seems like we plan our lives. And it seems like a horrible situation, but that situation in that person's life was an exceptionally huge turning point for him that changed his life forever, right? And he was a Christ follower from then on out. I mean, that was the thing for him that said, hey, this is your chance. You're gonna get a second chance here to go at this again. You want to do it differently? He's like, yep, want to do it differently. Right? Changed him dramatically.
Right. So you lifted the visor of his helmet and looked him in his eyes. What was your first thought in that moment?
I can't believe he's alive.
Yeah, there's got to be that. Holy shit, he's still here.
Yeah.
Flying 100 feet.
That's the first moment, and then the moment after that comes. The moment right after that comes. Is he about to die? Right? Because while he's alive, is he about to die? I know I'm in the middle of nowhere and there's no help going to be here anytime soon.
Yeah, that's got to be. I mean, the emotions going through. I was going to say, just the emotions going through you at that time. How were you feeling? Were you very in shock yourself?
Oh, completely. I felt like I was in some kind of a war movie where your adrenaline just goes boom like that, and then you're just. Like I said, the pieces of glass are these people's faces, right? Because that motorcycle went through that windshield and just threw all that glass back there, and even the safety glass, right? So there's chips, but they're chips that are sticking in their face. and they're walking around, and you don't know how injured they are, but they're all bloody. There's blood all over the ground. And then you're over here by this guy, and then you're thinking, okay, well, maybe some of those people are about to die, and we just don't. Maybe they're bleeding out right now, and I'm here with this guy. But my thoughts quickly came to, what if this was me lying in this ditch, and what would I want the person standing over me to be saying to me?
Right. So, why do you think our souls sometimes choose such a violent trauma to finally wake up?
Because we're hard to learn. It's why we reincarnate so many times, is because it takes us a long time, many of these incarnations, many of these dramas played out, so that our tendencies change. And just think about how hard it is to change a tendency. If you have a tendency to be kind and you want to change it to be mean, it's not an easy thing to do, because that's your tendency. That's the way that you are, right? I mean, we all know people who are always happy. Anthony's one of them. Always happy. Always happy. Even though if he's not happy, he's acting like he's happy. Right.
But I mean, one of the things that it could have been saying is, hey, don't ride motorcycles. Because, I mean, I've always wanted to get a motorcycle, and he hopped right back on it, which good for him that he wasn't scared of it. He's able to do it again. But I've always wanted a motorcycle, but living here in Costa Rica and just seeing how many motorcycle accidents actually happen here, it just scares me away every single time.
Right.
I think that's just me as just me personally, and I'm sure a lot more people, but there's so many new people hopping on motorcycles this day here. Gringos too. Trying to learn how to ride a motorcycle here is insane.
I just not here in San Jose. There's no way I would get on a motorcycle. I just would not feel comfortable. And I see the way the motorcycles behave, and it makes my skin crawl, right? Because I'm always watching out for them, because they're swerving in and out of the cars, and just nobody's that good at keeping track of that many moving objects, right? You get people walking, sometimes you get people walking in the middle of the motorcycle. The car stops for the people who are going to walk, and the motorcycle just zooms by the car, never thinking, oh, these cars might be stopped because there's a pedestrian walking. Yeah. Not motorcycles in Costa Rica. All right.
I have one more question regarding your story. For someone going through a personal crisis right now, how can they begin to see divine action in their life?
Through spiritual practice, and whatever practice it is that resonates with them. I meditate. I have a journaling practice. I study every day for a certain amount of time, things that are spiritually oriented, but we find God through spiritual practice. It could be chanting, right? It could be chanting kirtan. There's some people find it through exercise, like hatha yoga, right? There's many, many ways, but it's through consistent daily spiritual practice that you don't miss.
Was there anybody else that helped you guys on the scene there? Was it just you or your brother?
It was me and my brother and my friend Todd, he was our dungeon master for our D&D group. That we had over 100 people come through that D&D group, but he was the dungeon master, and a fantastic one, right? Just absolutely had the time of our lives with the worlds that he created out of his mind. So Todd is a fantastically talented person. He has escape rooms now, and his daughter runs escape rooms. So anyway, So it was the three of us were on that scene until about 30 minutes later. All the law enforcement and medical teams and everything else showed up.
And how was the time moving at that time? Because it had to have been years.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. The memory, you remember it in your body, because you're just in such trauma, right? It really is trauma. You're having trauma too. You're experiencing. These people are really experiencing the trauma, but you're in the trauma with them. Negotiating with super drunk people, right? And then, of course, the cops get there and trying to figure out, okay, who are we arresting here? And, but good came from that situation. I mean, a lot of good came from that situation. I don't know what happened with the drivers in the car, and probably someone did some jail time, right?
Right.
But nonetheless, having been involved, not with just this situation, but as a pastor and being a police officer and working with federal law enforcement and being a business owner and doing international business. And I know that in situations like this, that whatever's in that we think is a curse can be a blessing if we'll allow it to be. Whatever it is, and because there are horrible, terrible things that happen in people's lives. Horrible, tragic things that happen. Family members die unexpectedly, and people die of really horrible diseases and things like that. And having gone through those things myself and having gone through a lot of them with a lot of other people, they can be life-altering in an incredible way if we allow them to be.
Yeah, I think that's why it's always best to try to find the silver lining, where you just try to see the good in it. And even if it's the hardest thing to find, you have to find something that's good, because if you go on with life with saying this tragic thing is just happened and you hold on to that one thing, it's going to be a long time before you or never forget something like that. You'll never forget it, but it'll be hard processing it.
And they also say that one of the things that my guru, Baba named Karoli, always said was remember God. So love everybody, serve everybody, and remember God. Love, serve, remember. And in the remembering of God, in whatever way that is to you, and I would say remembering the goodness of God, I would add that in, remembering the goodness of God. In whatever way a person, no matter what their religion, however they can remember the goodness of God will make them feel closer to God. But you can't do it for 5 minutes today and then not do it again for another 8 days. That won't work. It has to be a daily practice. My daily practice sometimes can stretch into 2.5 or 3 hours. People say, how can you do that? Oh my goodness. You know, I don't doom scroll. I don't do that. My time is very intentional and my thoughts are very intentional because I believe that I'm living in the echo of my previous thoughts.
Right. So let me ask you this. What should people start doing today for their future self?
Spiritual practice again. It's the best thing you can do. Everything begins with a thought. Spiritual practice. What you can do for your future is right now. Be here now. Find a practice that makes you present. Even if that doesn't involve God. Spiritual practice does not have to involve God in any way. A pure atheist can meditate. Meditate on your higher self. Meditate on kindness. Meditate on gratitude. Whatever. Best thing you can do for your future is spiritual practice daily. Don't miss it right now.
Right.
Same thing with exercise.
Right. What's one thing most people should stop doing immediately?
One thing that most people should stop doing immediately. Stop speaking negatively of yourself or anybody you care about in any way, but especially yourself. Don't speak negatively about yourself, and then try, if you can, to not think negatively about yourself. But love yourself more. People that you love, you should not speak negatively about. And that starts with you. No negative self-talk.
Right. What mystery about the human mind fascinates you the most? Because we know that the consciousness is not located in the mind. The consciousness has nothing to do with the meat that's between my temples here. That whatever that is not consciousness. It's a receiver. It allows me to tune into a very specific frequency, my particular frequency. But consciousness is universal. We are all part of one consciousness. I'm just trained in a little tiny bit, but we know from studying saints that they can open their consciousness up in a way where they can see many other consciousnesses
at the same time.
I got a question about that. Sorry, Anthony. I mean, we know how much do we actually use of our brain? What was it, like 15% or something like that?
Yeah, they always quote that. We use a very small percentage of our brain.
Right. But have they ever done that to a saint to see how much, if they've somehow? There is a very
deep meditator. I believe his name is Matthew Richaud, something along those lines. He's French, and he became a monk and became a meditator. They've done some MRI scans of his brain while he's in deep meditation, and there's dramatic differences. And it's not just him. They've done it with other deep meditators. There's dramatic differences in the brain function and in the waves the brain is producing, how it produces those waves, all of that. Dramatically different. And we know from people like Wim Hof, which his breathing is very much a type of meditation, that it can produce extraordinary results in the human body and tolerances that otherwise would not be possible.
Right. What do DMT experiences reveal about consciousness? Let me repeat that one more time. What do DMT experiences reveal about consciousness?
What the DMT experiences reveal about consciousness, that could be a whole episode unto itself. But let me say the thing that fascinates me the most about DMT experiences are some experiments that were done at the University of Arizona. Don't remember the doctor's name, but there's a documentary, I believe it's on Apple TV, called The DMT Experience about this, where they give people intravenous pure DMT and they have a journey. So no ayahuasca, no throwing up. It's just pure DMT intravenously, and then they have a journey. And in that journey, they meet the same types of entities. They meet who they call Pachamama or Mother Earth. They meet these other winged angels that are rainbow colored. They sometimes meet these elves or small beings that look like elves, something like that. And so you have people from all these different walks of life. They take this psychedelic and then they meet these same entities. You have the same thing goes on with psilocybin in mushrooms with a whole other different set of entities. So with psilocybin, you have these robots that fly up and they seem to stick things inside of your brain and be adjusting things inside of you. And then you have what they call the mushroom elves, another set of small beings. But it's the shared, which we would call shared hallucinations, that people from all walks of life have, that fascinates me the most, because I think it's validating a universal consciousness.
Right. Why do so many people come back from DMT experiences saying reality isn't the way they thought it was?
Repeat that question again, please.
Yeah, why do so many people come back from DMT experiences saying reality isn't the way they thought it was?
You get the distinct impression that everything is connected, that you're just in some kind of a fantasy cartoon world in reality. When you go over into the DMT world and everything seems so connected and there's no negativity and you don't feel any barriers between you and other people. So you feel like this person has my best interest at heart and they feel the same thing about you. So you have these completely open heart experiences where everything feels unified. It feels, you could call it heaven in some way, where everything is perfect. Everything is incredibly beautiful. Everything is interesting. And I think that some people who have had DMT experiences and who have also had near-death experiences have, in those cases, said that those states can be very similar.
Right.
To the feeling of a deep bathing in love.
So can a few minutes of experience change someone's life?
I think so, completely. I've seen people have very short DMT experiences by smoking it in chunga, or by vaping it in a vape pen. And yeah, you can have profound experiences because it just might explain something to you that your mind's been hung up on for a long time. Where we've talked before how anytime something happened to us, we just, why me? Right? And we have those things that get hung up in our mind, why me? And all of a sudden you do some ayahuasca with some DMT in it and or a vape pen with DMT in it, and it just clicks back into places. This is why. And you say, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. And it just like erases, it just goes away. Is that a good description, Darren?
I would say so, yeah. Very good.
Yeah, so there you
go. I think one more question before we go to the section. Could human consciousness be much deeper than we assume?
Oh, I think it's incredibly deeper than we generally assume that it is. And I mean 1,000%. Because we're so distracted all the time. And Adri was talking yesterday about her reflexes that have improved as a result of meditation because she's just more present. And we've talked about the saints who are even hundreds of times more present than we are and what they can do and what they can endure because of being so present. So yes, I feel like what we assume is normal human consciousness can be 1,000%, 2,000%, 10,000% deeper. Who knows where it goes?
Right. I think that's all for today. Oh, by the way, why are humans drawn to mystical experience, right? Because we're always like attracted to all these things. Why is that?
My answer is simple, is because we're built for it. We're spiritual beings having a corporeal carbon experience. But we're primarily spiritual beings. We're not primarily physical beings. So we're attracted to what we are, and that's mystical. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Made in Paradise podcast. We do this every week, Monday through Friday. And we are the Proven Performer crew. We sell big closeout deals and sponsor this podcast. And so today, we're going to tell you about a new deal and some price drops and some great deals that are still available. So hang with us as we run through them really fast. The first one we're going to talk to you about today is A-Smoke wood pellet grills. 'Tis the season. July 4th, right around the corner, right? These are ready to ship, 100% ready to ship, $899. We have 435 units. It's 2 trailers. Here's the grill itself. These are nice big units, $899 retail, right? See the glass in the lid, brand new in the boxes, not returns, still strapped, nice clean boxes. We got a video here. There's the boxes in the warehouse. Takes 2 trailers to move it. 435 units, $899 retail. Wood pellet grills from A-Smoke. Asking price $225 take all. $225 take all for the A-Smoke pellet grills. Next deal I want to talk about today has been hanging around a while. This is the Dove travel size. We have 13 million pieces of this, X-Works, California and Alabama, 13 million pieces, brand new in the case packs. This is a canceled order from the Wyndham Hotel Group. 100% brand new product, 13 million pieces on the Dove. Previously was at 13 cents, now at 10 cents. Take it all, 10 cents, take it all. X-Works, California, Alabama. Dove in the travel size, 13 million pieces. Got a video here of the product in the warehouse. There it is. Been in a climate-controlled warehouse. This is crisp, clean goods. No problem if you want to inspect it. Just got to be willing to buy it. 13 million pieces of Dove. Our third deal today, another price drop. Skullcandy Dime Might and Mini headphones. I can rant and rave about these all day. I've used them. Had at least 5 or 6 pair myself. Love them. They're the size of a dime. Full retail box. We've got about 8,000 units left. Genuine Skullcandy. They're in red and orange. We have 1,500 units of red, 5,500 units of orange. Your cost now, take all, $11. You want less than that, let us know. We get you some at $12. $11 take all on the Skullcandy. Let me remind you again about Kokomo Soul. Kokomo Soul sandals. Lady sandals. They look like baseball and softball sandals. Kokomo Soul. We have 7,300 pair, X-Works Texas, 100% brand new polybagged in size runs. Your cost $2 a pair. Again, 'tis the season. You know, they just look like kind of cool sandals. It's not necessarily have to be baseball or softball. I mean, that looks like, you know, every other sandal walking up and down the beach here in Costa Rica. Kokomo Soul. This next deal, I can't believe hasn't sold yet, but we got an update on it. It's Brewista. And these are smart temp digital thermometers and cafeteras is what we call these, right, Anthony? In Costa Rica, cafeteras.
Right.
But on Brewista, the new news is they're not in brown boxes. They're in beautiful color boxes, right? Beautiful color boxes, everything. The brown box is the outer box. They're all in beautiful color boxes. We have a total in the Brewista of 5,075 units. Your cost works out to be $8.41 a unit, and these go up to $139.95 retail. In color boxes, Brewista kettles, also some digital thermometers, completely manifested. Beautiful color boxes. Let us know if you can use the Brewista. We love WhatsApp. Our numbers are down below. Also, our email addresses. Be happy to respond to you quickly. Another price drop today. These Harry Potter wands, second generation interactive wands, their retail was at $85 a unit. They are UPC coded. We have 5,000 units, X-Works New York, 3 different styles. And these were for use inside the park, but also as a collector's item. And there's a new Harry Potter series coming out. They were asking $15 a unit, now down to $12.50, 5,000 units, X-Works New York on the genuine licensed Harry Potter wands. These Domestika tables, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Average retail on these tables, $5,700. From a super high-end store, went out of business in Texas. We have 55 of these tables, obviously all solid wood stuff. Average retail, $5,700. Take all, asking $800 a table. Brand new in boxes, perfect condition. You're welcome to inspect them. Tables from Domestika. Our last thing I want to talk about today, we can't say the name of this famous fertilizer. 500 pallets, probably 25 trailers, high-end liquid fertilizer. Some has recently expired, or let me say that most has recently expired. Some is still unexpired, but the artificial intelligence says it's still good. The restriction here, this has got to go to a user, can't be resold in the United States, going to have to sign a contract, or we can export it. So some restrictions here, but it's cheap like you can't imagine. If you possibly can use liquid fertilizer in an enormous, massive quantity, reach out and we'll give you the information on that. For the Made in Paradise podcast, we are the Proven Performer crew, John Clark, Anthony Ferguson, and Darren Vingleton. We're here every day, Monday through Friday. You have a great weekend, and we're going to see you on Monday. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.